Today is November 16th. The Yankees have a Cy Young winner atop their staff. They've got a new hitting coach, some trade rumors, and roster updates and moves and crunches. Let's talk some Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old John Boy, Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, theme, and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talking Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy, and Jake. Talking Yanks with old John Boy, and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks. Thank you very much for joining us today. If you have joined us a lot in the past and you want to subscribe to the channel, that helps out a ton. We appreciate that. We're very close to a super big milestone personally that we want to achieve. So if you could just help us get there, appreciate that. Today's show is brought to you by SeatGeek. You can use code YANKS to get $20 off, ticket of your choice. First time purchase, $20 off. You just got to use code YANKS at SeatGeek, the app, the website. Find an event. There's over 70,000 of them in your area. Treat yourself. Go alone. If you're young enough that you think going to events alone is lame, grow up. Enjoy some alone time.
Break that seal.
Or
you'll find that it's a good time.
Go with a dear loved one. So that's SeatGeek, code YANKS for $20 off your first purchase. Jake, how are you?
James, Davis, or go with a beloved deer with SeatGeek. I'm good, man. Yanks are sneaky hot in the streets. They're hottest in the streets they've been since Labor Day.
Things are heating up.
Things are heating up. Even our Brian Cashman thinks the Yankees are good episode got a lot of love from the people. And then Soto trade rumors, and we've got our biannual Gleyber trade rumors with some other things. And, things are happening. 40-mans are getting set. That those dictate kind of some of the upcoming moves. And I don't know, if we're all being really honest, you saw it last episode. You talk to any Yankee fans, you're sucked into Soto. So we've already been built up for heartbreak there. So why not us?
I'm enjoying that. We didn't get heartbreak yesterday. We got good news. We're going to play a little game.
Yes.
I'm going to go first. This is kind of like we do this on JM Baseball Trivia where you have to name the top 30
We're going to name as many Yankee players as we can.
No, it's a little different. It's a little different than that.
Bad app.
That's a bad app. It's a good live stream. Bad app. I'm going to go
maybe
first.
That's our Christmas pre-recorded app.
BBD goes second. Jake goes third.
Miro
And
Pena.
you have to name an AL pitcher that got a first place vote for the Cy Young. I go first. Gerrit Cole. Beebs.
Oh,
That was
wow.
in any year.
Feels like
No, this year.
feels like
2023.
I might be stuck.
I want the first pick.
Snell?
You want the first pick?
I'd like to randomly
All right.
draw.
That was unfair of me. Jake, you get the first pick. Beebs, you get the second pick.
Sure.
Jake?
I know Bradish got some votes. I'll go Cole.
Okay. Beebs? Looking for first place votes.
place
For
only.
this year,
Yeah.
AL?
For this year, AL, Jake got Cole. Now you got to name someone else who got first place votes for Cy Young in the AL.
I don't think I can do it.
Beebs is out.
Jim,
might
I
be
abstain,
striker.
which leaves Jake winning, BBD losing, and I didn't participate.
you didn't play.
You opted out.
I opted
Yeah,
out.
played
Yeah,
away.
so
You
the
gotta
losses
win the
on Beebs' record, he unfortunately played.
That's crazy.
That was silly. Gerrit Cole,
Foolish by
unanimous Cy Young.
Yeah.
30 first place votes. No other pitcher got a first place vote. So congrats to him. Sonny Gray got second
Kevin
place.
Gossman has more WAR.
F4.
F that.
F that. Yeah. F4 is not for Cy
Dog
Young.
Yanks.
F4 is for free agent signings. That's Cy Young. I'd still take Gerrit Cole. He had a great year. If you want to reflect on it for a little bit, I'm very impressed looking back on his year in the fact that we talked about this last ep too, but I don't know if it gets as much shine. He gave up a home run every single game. Much like in 2022 when Judge was like, I tinkered my swing, and we're like, you're pretty good. And he's like, I didn't like my approach against sliders. And then he set the home run record. He absolutely destroyed breaking balls. Cole was still good when he gave up a home run a game. He still had good numbers, not the best. And the best get better. He said, I'm going to change that. And he gave up way less home runs he really fixed that aspect of his game. I felt like I was watching a very dominant ace all year.
Because you were.
Yeah.
You were. And the only thing that some nerds may point to, or maybe some F-War people, his strikeout numbers were a lot lower, but a lot of those were more early outs that led to more innings.
And less home runs.
We saw him throw 209 innings this year, which was his second most innings pitched. It's toe for toe. Toe for toe? What?
No one said that. I'm going to Google.
Toe for toe?
I'm going to Google.
How does that happen?
I'm going to Google in quotes. No, wait, it's a saying. It's a saying.
Is it what I'm trying to say?
Wait, hold on.
No way.
Hold on. It's a band.
Okay.
It's a toe for toe meaning is something. Mainly U.S. to be willing or able to compete or fight with someone. Oh, toe to toe.
Toe
Not
to
that's
toe.
toe to toe, like when you square up
Going
against
toe
someone.
to toe with somebody.
Toe. What does it mean to go toe for toe? To start a fight, argue. Is that how you meant it?
It's
Do you mean
arguably
pound
his
for
best
pound?
season. Yeah, I don't know.
You meant like pound for pound.
Pound for pound, eye to eye. It doesn't.
That's more like
all
you
things
know,
considered.
That's more justice. It's more justice
Net.
related.
You were on a net kick for a couple
net
of years.
net. I miss net. Lowest the. I'm a basic guy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a toe to toe guy.
Yeah. Toe for toe.
Toe for toe.
Because
guy.
toe to toe is something.
He had the most innings pitched and the lowest ERA. Like, that's where I kind of step away from the analytics table, and I'm like, oh.
Oh, but even Foolish Baseball, your dear friend, and he likes analytics and stats, and he's kind of like the stat nerds, like God.
Face of the nerds.
Yeah. And he even
And he
says
knows
ERA.
I mean that in the nicest way.
Yeah, no. But he's even said ERA or Cy Young is a results
Right. What
award,
happened?
not
Evaluating a guy you might want to
so
sign
you,
is
you
different.
don't use predictive stats. Yeah. So when he came out and said that, I said, okay,
Right.
the king has spoken.
We're rewarding the best season that happened.
And also, everyone that had a vote voted for Gerrit Cole.
Yeah.
So they got it right. Good
Pretty
job.
cool.
Way to go, Gerrit.
I think Unanimous, Verlander, Johan Santana, Pedro, Clemens, Guidry, and Denny McLain.
Nolan Ryan never had unanimous?
Someone just commented.
That would be the fade. Gerrit
I
Cole
was trying to
goes.
set you guys up.
Gerrit Cole goes from one of the best pitchers to never win a Cy Young to just like guy.
Yeah.
Cy Young
it is,
winner.
you know.
Rick Porcello.
Mm-hmm. It is a mantelpiece.
A little bit of a mistake.
It's
Sonny
a
Gray
notch-
second in the
a
voting.
a notch in his bedpost. A line in his song.
Yankees are celebrating that. Hey, we got Sonny Gray. He
Sonny-
finished second in the Cy Young.
Yeah. They are
Good job,
celebrating.
Yanks.
Yeah. But that is frustrating that they're celebrating Sonny's success because I half get it. Like, sure, Cash. The
We
faction,
recognize the talent.
The people that report to you may be able to scout talent, but then they failed you. But then, like on the Joey Gallo side, that's no scouting at all. He hits the ball hard.
Right.
Like, so that was zero scouts involved there, just analytics.
To be clear, we haven't seen something about the Yankees celebrating Sonny Gray. We're speculating and knowing the way the Yankees think a little.
Oh yes,
They're proud of themselves.
but I stand by it. They're celebrating.
Just before
Like
we
Sonny
accidentally
came in
start a
second
rumor.
place, and they were like, "Told you, we knew we liked him." So
Nobody's
sign him
really
again.
mad at you for
Sign
that
him
trade.
again.
Also, Pablo Lopez finishes 7th. The Yankees traded Gleyber for him, so they celebrate that. So they've got that. And then they wanted Luis Castillo, who finished 5th. So Yankees are all over the board here.
That is true.
How about Zach Eflin for the Rays? Their biggest free agent signing ever. Everyone does like a head tilt. Like, really? Oh, yeah, he's 6 for Cy Young.
Well, 6 for Cy Young. What's that mean? Because it can mean a lot of votes, or it can mean two friends.
He got 3 fifth-place votes, 3 fourth-place votes, 2 third-place votes, and a second.
He's one of the
Okay,
last.
so he's in there.
He's one of the last real ones. Chris Martin.
One of the
with
last ones with like a substantial vote.
He's in the rotation of
Chris
Cy
Martin
Young.
with one of
Cy
yes.
Youngers. That's fun. If you were to take the top 5 Cy Young people and just be like, this is the AL
It's
rotation.
close.
Oh, so
He
Cole,
finished 6th.
Cole, Gray are in the rotation. Gossman's in the rotation. Bradish in the rotation. And then it's Castillo, Eflin, kind of tied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's Castillo. Wow. But
Castillo's
Castillo
zero
got
third
no
place.
But it's
third
by
place
one
votes.
vote. Yeah, I mean, it starts to get to a silly territory, but
Well, that's...
happy for Gareth.
Appeared on more total ballots, Luis Castillo, I think.
Oh, wow. I love that they have everyone's ballot down here.
Yeah.
Did anyone...
The guy who put Eflin second isn't even a Tampa guy. Detroit writer Jason Beck.
No, he's Jason Beck. He likes what he likes on the mound.
So do we have a writer that stood out? We'll move on from this soon, but I just love when there's a writer that stands out.
Oh,
That would be probably the one.
Beck had Gray 4th, Gossman 3rd, and Batista. So yeah, he's probably the most unique ballot here.
Paul Sullivan of the Chicago Tribune gave Chris Martin a 5th place vote.
Yeah.
Had a great year in Boston's bullpen, but wasn't like their closer. That was the one. There was some discourse about it on the Twitter streets last night.
There's always one.
Want to end up there?
Was a really
Fine
good year.
Sand and Clappish represented the Yankees. Beat. They had Cole Gossman, Gray Castillo. They were in lockstep 1 through 4. Then Fine Sand voted Lopez and Clappish voted Bradish. So
Okay, I like that. That's fair.
I always
So
like looking at
3 voters gave Gray 4th place. Texas, Kevin Sherrington, and Manolo Hernandez Doan.
Oh, Eno voted.
Yeah.
Oh, who did Eno vote for?
Cole, Gossman, Gray, Lopez, Bradish.
Nice, Eno. Wait, did he not have... Oh, Gray was 3rd.
Gray 3.
Cool. All right.
And Jake and I just had Eno on Wake and Jake. Check that out.
Congrats to Gerrit Cole. I forgot that getting to see the voters' individual awards is... I enjoy that just because I enjoy looking for the buttheads.
Mm.
And I forgot that about myself. Was Snell?
MVPs tonight.
2 people didn't give Snell first place. Like, come on, I want to find them. It was Arizona, gave Gallen. See, that's just stinky. Barry Bloom. Good name. That's a real... Barry Bloom is a really good name.
Barry
That's a
Bloom's
book name.
Great name.
That's a book name.
He's a writer. He's working on a book. His middle name starts with an M. Barry Bloom.
So I walked into the coffee shop. There was only 2 other people there. Mildred, who I was planning to meet up with,
Dude,
and the man accompanying her, who
This isn't-
introduced himself as Barry Bloom.
this isn't the most famous Barry Bloom unless he's related to this Barry Bloom, who's an American higher education teacher, a distinguished service professor, and that's Barry Bloom.
Do you know what school?
Harvard.
So not,
Heard of
not
it?
in Arizona. The Logan Webb first place vote was not a San Francisco writer.
Who it be?
It was Jordan Bastian from Chicago. Writes for MLB.com.
Okay.
He went Webb, Snell, Wheeler, Strider, Gallen. So he canceled out Bloom's Gallen.
All right. Okay, good stuff. Congrats to Cole. We're going to move on and talk about some of these rumors as the Yankees continue to look for some better help.
Oh, you think so?
Mm-hmm.
Not only do the Yankees need some better help, but maybe you or someone you know could use better help. And this show is sponsored by BetterHelp. This time of year can be a lot, and it's natural to feel some sadness or anxiety about it. But adding something new and maybe positive to your life can counteract some of those feelings. Therapy can be a bright spot amid all of the stress and change. Something to look forward to make you feel grounded and to give you the tools to manage everything going on. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. Entirely online, convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Fill out a brief questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Find your bright spot this season with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Yanks today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Yanks today. There's a link in the description.
I know I promised everyone I would move on,
Right.
but I have to tell you, I am a big Barry M. Bloom fan.
Which one?
The writer that voted for Gallen. I just read his biography on Sportico.com /author/Barry-Bloom. And this dude is accomplished, and he does have some books. He wrote the biography of Larry Bowa and the biography of Tony Quinn, currently working on his autobiography and a book about the 1984 era San Diego Padres. He definitely wrote his own caption. He has a beautiful and erudite. Have you heard this word? I learned a new word yesterday when I read Matty Mass's book on morning. Erudite. And how do you think you pronounce that?
Lost me a little bit ago.
Erudite. I just played the Google.
He has a beautiful and erudite wife, Alicia. 2 accomplished children. 3 beloved grandchildren. His life is a success and would not be complete without them. Go get it, Barry and Bloom. Anyway, rumors.
Full life.
Rumors that Barry and Bloom is too smart to put, any say into. He's a learned man. Went to law school.
No more Barry Bloom.
Barry M. Bloom.
That's
Get ready to pay the price.
gotta say the M. You don't matter.
Well, yeah, I think his grandpa or someone got him. Anyway, Verdugo is a non-rumor, but it's very interesting. Passon even addressed it, and BBD had wrote it in our notes. There's been 2 solo reports that the Red Sox are shopping Verdugo. The Yankees are shopping Gleyber, as always. If this was not the Red Sox and the Yankees, if this was the Red Sox and the Yankees and the Mariners, I think people would be like, hey, that works. Almost too easy.
There's a path to a trade here.
But so it is interesting that it's getting cut down just because they're not going to do a substantial trade like that. But I guess as a brain exercise for anyone that's listening and saying, why would it be a perfect match of sorts if it was not the Yankees and the Red Sox? Do you want to get into that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I've already told the people. I'm kind of the person that started this. Coming into the offseason as we were starting to actually get back into the Yankees, forgetting about them and coming back, and it's okay, what do the Yankees need to do to actually change this team and get better? Gleyber Torres has been on the table for the past 3 years or so. This is our biannual Gleyber Torres trade update episode. And he's coming down to the last year. 1 year, I think it's going to be around $15 million. But that is a valuable player. Gleyber Torres is a high-level hitter at second base. The defense is meh. The base running is less than meh. But what he can do hitting at that position for 1 year of requirement, that is valuable to a lot of baseball teams. And for the Yankees, Gleyber Torres, unfortunately, is in the right-handed and slow column. Bad defense. And the Yankees need to get left-handed outfielders. So you guys know I had a eureka moment. I think I brought it to the show, and I was like, hey, the Yankees should trade 1 year of Gleyber Torres for 1 year of a lefty outfielder. I went scouring for 1 year lefty outfielders. Really, the only name that came up was Alex Verdugo, which both of these guys get a lot of love and dislike from their fan bases. At times, they've been elite. At times, they've rubbed their organization the wrong way. Alex Verdugo has 1 year left on his contract. Yankees need a corner outfielder. I don't know. I'm interested to see how the offseason progresses for both of this. I do think it's really dumb that the Yankees and Red Sox would not trade with each other on a 1 year deal if you think it makes your team better. That's your goal as GM, and you're a 4th and 5th place team. This isn't peak of the Yankees rivalry right now. If you each need to make your team better by making that move, then you make the move. And to be that proud, I guess for the new Red Sox GM, Craig Breslow, to come in and have his first trade be with the Yankees, that's almost a death sentence. Unless you win it, Craig, then everyone loves you. But yeah, betting 1 year of a baseball player heads up when the Yankees-Red Sox rivalry. Any executive is scared to do it, including Brian Cashman, who has #1 job security in the world. So, I don't know. The other side of it that's Yankee fans will be quick to jump at you with, they had their worst offensive season basically in Yankees history. They're second to last in league in hits to the Oakland Athletics, who just got voted to move their team because they were trying to be so bad that they could move under the radar. So that's what's happening there. And Gleyber Torres was one of 2 people that hit throughout the whole season. I mean, actually the only one who hit through the whole season because Judge was out or Rizzo got a concussion, so it's just Gleyber. So a team that could not hit, that I will tell you in front of this microphone many times coming up, they need multiple hitters, 3-4 hitters to add to this team if they want to get to a competitive spot for next year, a World Series competitive spot for next year. To trade one of those is almost taking another step back. So there's a lot of ways to skin the cat. Could Gleyber Torres be traded for 1 year of a pitcher? And the Yankees go out and address, that's how they address their pitching needs, and then they go out and they get other hitters. Yes, but there's not a lot of free agent hitters out there that, I don't know. We're in the Gleyber spin cycle. I don't know if there's a lot of fits outside of Alex Verdugo and the Red Sox that if I had to guess at this point, the Yankees are Gleyber Torres will be back at second base because they're just locked in bed with each other at this point.
Yeah. And he's got value. He can hit. You just need to clean up the rest of the stuff. Verdugo and him are very similar. They have 1 year remaining on their contract. Gleyber makes more money. Gleyber
is also better.
Better hitter. Gleyber's an infielder and a righty. Verdugo's an outfielder and a lefty. So there's diversifying the lineup that helps as well. But they're not like different hitters. When you look at batting average, on base, slugging, it's just that Gleyber's a tick better at all of them thus far in his career. It's not like one's a on base versus a batting average or a slug versus a contact. Like they're very kind of the same profile of at least the slash line tells you that. So I don't know. It's not going to happen, but it is weird.
Similar ages.
I do think that if it was another team, it would be like, hey, why not try that? If you really need to get lefty, you have DJ. You can slide around the infield. He's righty. Peraza can get some reps. He's righty, and this helps you. Or you go trade for another infielder that's a lefty or some shit.
Yeah,
anyway.
and I know when this first got fake rumored after I really rumored it to start. I know some of the youngs in our office. Like I was walking around like, if this is there, you have to do this. Like this is the problem with the Yankees. They need lefties. They need corner outfielders. And someone countered back and they said, well, I think Gleyber's a better player. And it's like, that thought process is what got the Yankees all right-handed, slow hitters.
Yeah.
So at a certain point, you need to make a team. Like if this is an NBA team and you get all centers because their overall rating is 85, well, your team's going to be dog shit because you don't have any shooting or you don't have any ball handlers. So that's basketball by me.
Basketball.
By me.
By Jake.
And that would also mean you probably can, that's where the negotiating of a trade comes in. Red Sox then just have to kick something in a hypothetical trade. Don't think any of it's happening. Also, I guess most of the rumors were like general Yankees interested in a Verdugo type, Red Sox interested in a Gleyber type.
Verdugo is he doesn't strike out. That's interesting.
I like that. Yeah. But that was also like Gleyber, Red Sox interest in Gleyber that we know about in the past was under Chaim Bloom, new guy. Breslow might love him too.
Yeah. True. All right.
Manager.
Yeah, the strikeout is a different profile there. Like Gleyber cut that down this year. Actually, this last year with Gleyber's new approach, they were similar in strikeout rate. And Gleyber actually walked more. So Verdugo's a ball and play guy.
It's kind of what the Yankees need.
Yeah.
A ball and play, lefty, corner outfielder.
Yeah.
And by the way, dude loves New York City. Has fed off the stadium every time he's been here.
He likes crowd and energy. He also got benched or whatever Cora did, so there was also that. I don't know what that was.
So should have Gleyber.
So should have Gleyber.
Literally, things line up an odd amount that if there's ever a time to break the détente, start the détente.
Toe for toe.
Toe for toe with the Red Sox. Like, this is the trade.
Yeah. It's almost that Always Sunny scene. You say, you should trade that fish for that fish. But they're slight differences.
Right.
Cool. The other rumor that we got today was the Yankees are interested in Manuel Margot from the Rays. Didn't we get this at the deadline too? So
they talked on deadline day.
They talked on deadline day about this. I don't even know what this does. Obviously, he's a righty center fielder. He's kind of Bader. Am I wrong to say that?
If you're someone who's on the Manny Margot bus, I don't think you're gonna like what I'm about to say. Manny Margot's IKF. Like, go look at his stats.
Fucking Yankees like that. But he's a good defensive center fielder, correct?
Not really. He's
a quality center field, not standout.
The Rays have gone through, like, he was 50-50 between center and right this year.
They employ Jose Siri.
He just does a lot out there.
They've had Siri. They've had Kiermaier, like they've had Brett Phillips. The Rays have brought in other elite center fielders to play over Manny Margot. So it's a little rude to say, like, he's not the guy in center field. He had a bad play in center field in the playoffs that sticks out to me, and the Rays like took a chance putting him out there with a different lineup. And yeah, some of his numbers didn't grade out right in center. And we've gone through the FA pool, man. Like, you can get Manny Margot's probably for less than 10 mil, or if Manny Margot plays to his baseball card next year, that doesn't help the Yankees.
He does have a better slash line than IKF and Bader the last 2 seasons combined across the board. He beats them all out. He's 98 OPS plus, so he's slightly better. If I trusted the Yankees to pick up Manny Margot and be their 4th outfielder,
if that guaranteed me they go grab Soto and
they get Soto and Kiermaier, you know, like, I'd be in on it. But if I have learned my lesson that when they grab IKF and these guys that they're going to start. So I would not like this to be a move for someone who slots in the top 9. Although, Jake, marginally he would make the team better than last year.
He's an MLB player. Like, that's the argument. But if he's on the team, he's probably going to play a lot. He's a right-handed hitting outfielder that doesn't have a lot of pop or a high batting average or a high on base.
IKF and Bader out-homered him last 2 years combined.
I'll hit you with the Kluber argument from previous years. If you're going to spend $10 million and trade an asset for Manny Margot, just spend that $10 million on a free agent player. Put that in the Kiermaier fund. Like, there's no reason to pay Manny Margot $10 million.
That's what he's getting?
Yes.
He's due for $10 million.
With a team option for 12 the next year.
But what the Yankees are like, well, we gave IKF
you want to know why they like
$6 million, and he's marginally better than IKF, so
you want to know why they're interested in him?
Because fast.
If they think they can tap into a little more, he has a team option for the next year at $12 million.
Kiermaier, who everyone's sort of starting to assume they'll get, probably gets more.
This
overall.
Guy, no trade.
That's true.
So sorry to my Manny Margot fans. Coach
The
Ball.
slash line is better than IKF.
Read his best.
He hasn't
season.
played 100 games in.
Well, I just compared the last
years.
2 seasons. Of all 3 of those players. I can compare last year for all 3. I don't know if that's kind of usually try to make it bigger than that. I'm not saying he's good. It is. Last year he 264, right?
Yeah.
That makes him 3rd best hitter on the Yankees, batting average. 310 on base. That makes him 3rd best on base on the Yankees, maybe.
Pretty good Yankee.
376 slug. I don't even know where it ranks. And 686 OPS, 91 OPS plus. Like, I'm not in favor. I'm just saying, like, this is a slight upgrade to the last year's team, which the Yankees believe that they were just unlucky last year, and that the offense is going to bounce back. And also we got marginally better on the IKF position. Like, don't you see their brand? I agree with you, but I'm just saying, don't be shocked if that's their line of thinking.
His whatever you deem his best season doesn't do anything to affect the Yankees' success.
And he's righty again. And don't trade with the Rays.
Yeah, don't trade.
It doesn't
with the Rays.
work for you.
Don't do it. Yeah, 3rd best batting average he would have had last year. The Yankees are so bad, man.
And I don't pure player wise, I don't despise the player, but it don't add up.
And he OPS plus, he would have been 5th. Better than Stanton, Volpe, IKF, and Cabrera last year. Yeah, that doesn't. If that's the move, that stinks. If that's the move after the moves, I like it.
You also can't do it first.
But it also is like the Yankees don't make moves after the move. We keep seeing, and to like some Talking Yanks fans' credits, they would be like, when are you guys going to learn? Like, this is the move. And I'd be like, no, there's going to be another one. And then there hasn't been a couple times. And now I've learned. So, yes, if they announce that they're getting him, that's it.
Sign Brett Gardner.
I have to operate as
over
if
Manny Margot.
that's their opening day center fielder.
I like Brett Gardner. If Brett Gardner came back in the clubhouse, I think he'd be like, what is this? You guys are sad now? You guys hate your own fan base? You guys are angsty? What's going on?
Yeah, well, we were really bad, and they didn't like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Moving on down the line. We got a new hitting coach and a ton of roster moves. So if you're planning on placing a bet on the 2024 Yankees, I would bet the over on the hitting. If that's an option that they have on the DraftKings Sportsbook. Over on the hitting. Yankees got a new coach.
I would, before baseball comes back, you might be able to build up a little bankroll because we got Thanksgiving football rolling up, where if you bet $5 on the NFL action, you get $150 instantly in bonus bets. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code YANKS. New customers can bet $5 on the NFL Thanksgiving action and score $150 instantly in bonus bets only on the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL with code YANKS. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in New York. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in West Virginia. Visit www.1800gambler.net. Please play responsibly. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling at 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, must be 21 or older in most eligible states, but ages vary by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms.
All right, so Judge hired a hitting coach. He hired James Rowson?
I think Rowson.
Rowson. And we have a good, bullet point list of his past provided by a young bug dude. He was a minor league player in the Yankees organization from 1995 through 1998. Then he went on to be the Angels minor league hitting coach in 2002 to 2005, where he then got promoted to high A Tampa hitting coach for 2 seasons, 06 to 07. From Tampa, he gets hired again to be the Yankees minor league hitting coordinator from 08 to 11. Moved on from the Yankees to the Cubs minor league hitting coordinator in 2012, then promoted to the Cubs hitting coach, so he gets his first crack at a major league job in 2012 to 2013. Then, after that, went back to the Yankees as the minor league hitting coordinator. So he was coordinator, coach, back to coordinator, did that for 2 seasons, then got hired to be the Twins hitting coach, part of the Bomba squad over there, hit the ball hard, juice ball years. Then Marlins bench coach, 2020 through 2022. And last year, he was the Tigers' assistant hitting coach as the Marlins changed up their coaching staff. Now he's back with the Yankees. So in 2014 to 2016, when he was the minor league hitting coordinator, that's when Judge was in the minor leagues for the Yankees, and they have a bond. They like him. He is saying that doesn't have one true philosophy. He doesn't believe it's cookie cutter, or that there's no one size fits all approach, which is good.
It's true.
True.
I'll confirm that.
Agree.
Also, like, if any coach thinks opposite than that, that's insane. So it's weird to get claps. Like, yeah, because, like, I believe sun rises in the morning. This guy's as smart as Barry Bloom.
What did I say?
That
Which one?
that was not the guy you were talking about. That was the
How do you know?
was the University of Harvard professor. I didn't put the M in the middle.
Yeah, Barry M.
What M?
Bloom.
Stands for
Different
married.
story.
Doesn't stand for married.
That's how much he loves his erudite wife.
think we have to bleep that.
Which part?
She's a what?
Erudite?
Think
I don't
so.
know. BBD
Yeah.
is my pronouncer guy. Anyway, James
Erudite.
is my name, and Jake's your name. What's your thoughts on this?
I can't believe we got him.
All right, let's move on.
Off-season checklist. Yes. This was all Judge.
I don't know. It seems like Judge is pulling. It seems like
Certainly has the judge
seems
seal of
like
approval.
Judge might be Hal's GM.
Which the only thing that's daunting there is there's one free agent pitcher that Aaron Judge loves. Snell. Snell's like Judge's boy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're friends?
Yes. They used to do like little league giggles when he'd come up to the plate and he was on the mound. And they're just like dudes. So if we'll find out Judge's GM power with Snell
Okay.
and how much those rumors start happening.
Yeah, I mean, the writers are writing that Judge was basically the Volpe decision maker. And I forget where I was reading that, but like Judge was like, this is the guy. You got to go with him. And Judge was also big on getting like Rodon. Like, if you sign me, you can't be done. You need to make another move. I don't know if it was specifically Rodon.
They needed to do at least one more big thing, though.
I didn't know that Judge got ripped for his batting average and RBI. I guess I get it. People don't like those stats, but I agree with him on a team level because RBI is a team stat. And as a team, they need to focus in playing the game differently when the situation calls for, hey, let's move that runner around and get him in and change your swing a little bit, which they don't do.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. RBI, and by the way, this is going to bounce back even more because people went so far away from RBI. You know what teams had a ton of RBI? Texas Rangers, the Atlanta Braves, because it's more of a team stat.
Did the Orioles? Because they were a cluster run. Like when we have guys on base, let's get them in, let's move them and shit. They did so much. The Orioles did so many hit and runs, putting guys in motion, like even slow players, and you know. So I don't know if they were good in RBIs, but they played that style of ball.
7th in RBIs.
Top 10. Where were the
Scored
Yankees?
runs.
And it's one of those.
25th.
It's just one of those old school things. Like RBI, pretty much means you're scoring runs. Those are runs batted in.
Yeah.
So I know you can't like coach RBI really, but in a way you can. Situational hitting.
Yeah, it's
like
just
you just
situational
talked
hitting.
about, which
Yeah.
we saw the Diamondbacks do. We heard the Texas Rangers talk about. Like that's one of the things the Yankees got away from, which is disastrous, and I hope they add commentary to it this offseason because it's a real thing.
Even the Phillies were running in the playoffs a little, right? Am I wrong there? They got run on.
They ran a little bit, but I think it was more so.
They're bop.
It's more so ask any, like it used to be called a 2-strike approach. It used to be called anything. Like if you've played baseball even on a very low level, to try to hit a ball as hard as you can or to try to make contact in a situation.
I think the Yankees were even really bad at moving the runner from third with less than 2 outs.
They're bad at everything.
Last year. But that says, like, you know, if you can hate, don't change your approach, stay to yourself, but less than 2 outs runner on third, get the ball in the air to the outfield. You know, like that is still believed in even through the 3 true outcome
They were
days.
23rd in sack flies. That's the quickest stat I could think of for some of that.
Yeah. So I think that's what Judge means when he's talking about RBI. Is situational baseball as a team stat. Not like
Obviously, like the last 15, 20 years, the way we value the RBI has shifted, but like driving in runners is a skill.
Like all the stats come together.
I don't know fully what to do with it.
Like isolating stats is so dumb. Because
You're talking about building a team.
batting average, on base, slugging, those come together with hits and RBI and home run. And like that defines the ball player as a whole. So I don't know. Eno, BBD mentioned Eno came on Wake and Jake, and he kind of addressed the Brian Cashman analytics department quote, which A, just kind of a lie. B, he said the way that the Yankees might be able to angle that is people hired under the title analytics department that are with the Yankees. But he was like, our social team made a clip of it. He's like, they pay
outsource.
They pay a scientist in Australia to deep dive research on the ball and bat impact. And he's like, that should count, and other teams don't do that. So that's just another little tidbit on what's going on with the Yanks.
And I've said it on here a bunch. Go to LinkedIn, type in organization Yankees, and just search scout or analyst, and it's insane how many people they have.
RBI are kind of a team stat, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Yankees had one guy with 70 RBI, Judge, in 106 games. Texas Rangers had 5, I think. Because you need good baseball players who are getting on base, whether it's hitting or walks.
Yeah.
And then you need people to drive those players in. I don't know.
You don't know. 58 employees that have analyst in their name. And that could be the multiple departments, not baseball.
Sure.
Sales.
But 65 that have scout in their name.
And there was...
And that's not even counting the employees that are like, screw LinkedIn.
I forget
what
do. Publication or Twitter account put this out, but there was some around the time that Cashman put those comments out. Like there's a list of like how many full-time like analytics department employees you have. I don't know how they come up with number X or Y. Yankees had the second most, and that came out. That was a graph from like August.
Yeah.
So maybe in the last 2 months they fired a bunch of them, and maybe now they technically do have the lowest. But as of 2 months before Brian Cashman said that, they had the most in the AL.
That was just somewhat of a lie.
Yes.
That was one of his classic lies, which I appreciate, actually.
I don't stand for
I like a lie.
Me and BMB are not into that.
Careful.
What's Bruce Bochy's middle name? That's the only way I allow that.
Mister.
It's a chance, right?
Bruce Mr.
Douglas.
Bochy. Bruce Douglas Bochy. That's awesome.
Family man.
Stan's agent got mad about Cashman's quotes.
No way.
Cashman said that, it's part of his game getting injured, and Stanton's agent, who is also the agent of Yoshinobu Yamamoto, said, I'll do it in his voice. I read the context of the entire interview. I don't know what this guy sounds like. I read the context of this entire interview. I think it's a good reminder for all free agents considering signing in New York, both foreign and domestic, that to play for that team, you've got to be made of Teflon, both mentally and physically, because you can never let your guard down, even in the offseason. So he didn't like the quotes from Cashman.
Which he shouldn't.
Because
he's Stanton's agent, and the GM said he's going to get hurt.
But I also, Cashman
agree
wasn't
with
Cashman, but I also agree with him sticking up for Stanton. And Stanton shouldn't enjoy hearing those words either. Like, all of this seems, hey, when there's a bad situation and it's highlighted, people don't like that,
Yeah.
Check this out, Jake. You're short.
Hey.
Did that feel good?
All right. I mean, it didn't hurt me anymore. Beebs. The fun plot twist of all of this, because it was kind of like, standard operating procedure. GM says a bad thing about his player. Agent doesn't like it. But then when everyone found out that the agent is Yamamoto's agent, it was like, you wonder if anything actually matters, because as long as the Yankees offer Yamamoto the most money, they'll get him in free agency. Like, I don't think this situation changes anything. I do think it was the agent just giving the Yankees a little Jimmy tap.
Yeah, I'm alive.
And by the way, the Yankees should actually read this, because it does matter. Like, you do need to mentally be prepared to play in New York.
Yeah.
And the Yankees analytics team has completely ignored that.
Well, the Odor's in charge of that. Calling up Odor right now. Hey, you think Yamamoto could handle the pressure of New York City?
Rudy.
You think he's gonna? Who's this? This is the Yankees. You're our go-to here.
Roogie Tuesdays.
Do you think
You got the scout, and they just hang up.
Yeah.
What was that? Was that a prank call from the Yanks?
So I watched a documentary, Get Gotti, recently, Teflon Don. They got him eventually. Teflon wore off, but okay. Yamamoto, maybe he was just warning him. And I do like that the agent said, good reminder for all free agents, both foreign and domestic. Kind of like popping his like collar there, like puffing out his chest, like I represent both.
Right.
You know, I'm kind of not just domestic only agent. A lot of agents out there are, not me. Actually, I bet not a lot aren't. There's a lot of international players.
You at least have, Dominicans.
How does he sign Yamamoto, to be honest? And are there agents in Japan that they have to like transfer to an MLB agent?
It's an interesting question. I know they have to get posted by the team, which will open up a 45-day window, and that hasn't technically happened yet, so that'll happen
Probably
soon.
very soon.
But yeah, I mean, I'd assume a lot of the Japanese agents don't have relationships over here, so there's got to be some formula, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Great name. Japanese names are always very fun to say. Especially because it's a different written language alphabet. So it translates very, what's that called when phonetically?
Should we tell BBD the nickname for the offseason that we heard last night?
Yeah, I mean, we can share where we're stealing it from Yes Network, so I don't know if they want us to. They don't care, I don't think. They'd probably be honored that we liked it so much.
Right.
They dropped, we went to dinner with Yes last night, they dropped Yamamoto. Is that common and popular in the streets? I'm not dancing in the streets.
I read at least one article where somebody talked about like, I want those two guys.
Did they combine the name?
Yes, and they called it that, but that was one blog.
Okay.
I haven't seen it crazy in the streets, but
we want to.
I've heard those names combined, and I like it, and I think we just made it very popular.
And it's just
I mean, it's what should the Yankees offseason plan be? Yamamoto.
If you're
that is the A+ off.
If you're that Yankees person, you're that person. You see someone wearing a Yankees hat at Dunks, and you want to give them a little something, you just go Yamamoto. And they probably don't respond.
You know what's a good episode exercise that we can do maybe in a future episode? Is take all the tiers of free agents. We just did this on Talkin' Baseball. We listed out the pitchers and each offensive and position like tiers. And say, okay, this is like tier 1, right, of starting pitchers and tier 1 of offensive bats. And then each decide our worst version of that. So, like, the Yankees can get away with, we made the moves, but it's the worst version of moves they can make. Because that's what they've been doing the last 3 years. Like the Montas trade, the IKF Donaldson trade. They're like, we made the moves. It's like, yeah, but that's like, was the worst version of what we wanted you to do. We should make our worst version.
Well, we stumbled into one of them today.
Our worst version.
Worst version of, like, they get to be like, what are you talking about? We did what you wanted. We went out and got a starter. We got a lefty bat.
Gets a little rude player-wise.
For sure. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's,
I don't know.
just labeled IKF Donaldson Montas.
Well, shit. I mean, that's
trading
like,
for Margot, re-signing Montas, and one of the other guys who's going to sign like a 1-year deal and saying that was.
I don't have
change of
Montas as a
position.
tier 1 though, but
if they signed another one with him
That's
that
what
was
I'm
like
saying,
closer
like-
to his tier than one of the good ones.
because you could potentially say like Cody Bellinger's a bad tier 1 move.
Yeah.
oh, he wouldn't be on
You
my
can end
list.
up being rude.
Okay, that's good because he could be very good. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
You could say that.
Yamamoto.
Monty and Sonny both being ex-Yankees, and they're like the top tier 5 starting pitching options is really funny because I just don't think they're going to do that just because they're ex-Yankees.
Yeah.
So they're like off the
just kinda
board,
can't.
which leaves Nola, Yamamoto, and who's it? Snell.
You guys have seen me on Talking Baseball for the past 2.5 weeks doing like, let's kind of weird. Snell doesn't have a landing spot, right?
Yeah, but I like Snell, but I don't know if a little Rodon effect. We're like, okay, he deserves the money. He's been good, but I don't know if that's Loch Ness Monster, or if he wants to come to New York. He's a chiller. He's one of the biggest known chillers.
I like him in the Bay Area. Getting hyphy with the Giants.
Yeah.
They got money. They've been looking for their move.
They've been trying to do a big signing. They've come in second place so many times.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right. The Yankees had to make a ton of 40-man roster moves, and some of these moves might mean there's other shit happening very soon. So,
tender deadline's tomorrow, so some amount of moves will happen for sure.
So a quick, very brief catch-up for anyone that doesn't understand this. When you get promoted to be an MLB player, you have 3 seasons. Usually it all depends on how many days you play and all that, but 3 seasons generally of under contract. You can't negotiate your deal. You just get this money unless you are so good you're in like the top 2%. Then you get bonuses and weird shit. But basically you get 3 years, and then you get 3 seasons of arbitration where you can negotiate with the team your pay point. There's also like scaled
every off season you come to the table.
Yeah, there's scaled raises that kind of like, oh, well, you did this, so you demand this. If you disagree, you go to an arbiter and they choose who was right. But also in those 3 years of arbitration, say the arbitration says you now deserve this much money, you can non-tender that player and just be like, nah. You can go be a free agent and hit the open market. Sometimes very nice for a player. Sometimes it's not bad. Sometimes it's mutually just kind of like a shrug. So that's coming up for the Yankees. We thought they were going to non-tender IKF last year. They gave him a $2 million raise. Bizarre.
Which
to be a lesser role on the team. Yeah. Crazy.
Nobody, to be a little fair, nobody in the history of arbitration has gotten less money than the previous year, but they could have given him. For
sure.
They could have gone from 4 to 4.
Because when that's deserved, they non-tender the guy.
Yeah. They could have gone, if they really wanted to keep him, they could have easily gone from 4 to 4.5 or something, and they gave him 6.
Yeah.
So the number was crazy.
So the Yankees added a ton to their 40-man roster because also there's the Rule 5 draft, which means if you've been in the minor leagues for X amount of years and you have never cracked the 40-man roster, then other teams can go snatch you and be like, hey, Yankees, you have had this guy in your minor leagues for 5 years. You've never put him in the 40-man. You're not using him. We would use him. We got him, and we draft him.
Play him on the big league team.
But they have to be on the big league team all year, otherwise they get returned. That happened with Nestor. That happened with
Mike Ford.
Mike Ford, and there was another reliever pitcher. The
Yankees have had a lot of guys get picked and sent back.
Loizaga, early on, Loizaga.
No, they 40'd him early. That was the Loizaga thing. They called him up in a pinch.
And
everyone was like, who was this guy?
Yankees lose guys almost every year. Almost everyone gets returned. And in baseball, almost everyone gets returned by the end of spring training. But
yeah. So they put Clayton Beeter.
He was the one that was always going to happen, obvious.
He was the trade for Gallo. They put him on the 40-man roster. They also put catcher Agustin Ramirez. I've never heard of him.
He had a pop last year during the Yankees' sad times because they were looking for anything, and he roped up high A for a little bit. So
he's 21 years old.
He was not in my book before they announced him.
Yeah, and he did hit really well at Hudson Valley last year. Jeez.
Shortly after the World Series, they added Carlos Narvaez, who K-Mac knows, to the 40-man. He would have been a minor league free agent. That's why it happened the week before. So they had to do that within 5 days of the World Series.
I'd like to say a couple things.
Okay, say them.
Yankees 40-man.
Yeah.
We've done a lot on this topic over the past 6 years or so now. And I think the Yankee diehards love it. I think there's a couple people that are like, whoa, let me know when Judge and Rizzo are coming up. But people like this game. This is the saddest time I've seen it. And I know that makes sense because the team was bad and there's no depth. But we got options to get off of if we need to.
A bunch will happen.
Yeah.
Tomorrow
Well, a lot of time. someone who was the catcher last year or year
on our sheet, Donnie Sands. They did protect him because they didn't want to lose him for nothing, and they traded him by tomorrow's.
Yes,
date.
so
they immediately flipped.
Yeah,
him.
So a lot of there's 6 catchers on the 40 man. A lot of them, maybe
might be
even
the 2 guys
Augustin
we didn't
Ramirez
know.
or whoever, will get traded tomorrow. They just put them on the 40 because it kind of gives them value, and then it allows
Chance
them
to not lose them for nothing.
Yeah, they don't lose them for nothing, and they get to move on. So there are moves to be made. A lot of times, guys get put on. It's a huge honor to get put on the 40 man. You're kind of
Right.
Your life changes
You
a little bit.
Get a big raise
As an MLB player, that's one of the steps.
The biggest thing that can happen tomorrow would be if they non-tender Higashioka.
He'd be the biggest
Because they have Wells, Trevino, Higashioka, Rortvet, and now Narvaez and Ramirez on the 40 man. That's 6 catchers. That's too many. So, or trade Higgy. So some of the young catchers will get moved in some way, or Higgy will, or Rortvet will get non-tender.
Some combination of all of those.
Something's
At
going to
least
happen
2 of them
soon,
are going
I believe.
somewhere else eventually.
And with those 6 catchers.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my only combat to soon would be the Yankees technically don't really have to do anything until they make another move, right? Like, even when they sign,
You have until tomorrow to non-tender somebody.
right? I'm saying, but
For the young
let's say
kids.
they tender these guys. In theory, the Yankees, like I remember when they signed Rodon, they had a full 40 man, but they waited to do the actual paperwork because they had to move on from guys. Like, in theory, nothing could happen.
Yes, if they want to move later on. The thing is, so in their minds, if they're
on the hook for money,
if they're on the hook,
guys
if they give Higgy his arbitration number, which is $2-something million,
2.3
and they
is
believe that
arbitration.
makes it harder to make a deal or trade with someone, because if they non-tender him, he's a free agent. People can go get him for whatever he's worth.
I think the Yankees hold on to Higgy. I think the one that's jumping off the page to me is Lou Trevino.
He jumped out to me as a non-tender candidate as well.
It's $4.1 million.
Yeah.
Like, Higgy's at 2.3. That's almost half, math pod. And as BBD's also noted, like the free agent catcher situation is nothing. Like it would almost be doing Higgy a favor. Our Talkin Yanks chat is popping off as we speak about it. That if you made Higgy a free agent, it would be awesome for him. But Higgy has some sort of value. That at 2.3, I think they can hang on to him and still play a little bit of a poker game as they figure out their catching situation.
They could definitely tender him, trade him.
Where
in a month.
Lou Trevino, I like Lou Trevino, and he's actually got a nice like major league resume, but coming off TJ to pencil him in as a $4 million reliever next year, I don't know. You can't do that. I don't know if Lou Trevino is going to be good next year.
He had Tommy John in May, and as a reliever, you don't have to build up as much, but it's still going to be a mid-season return. And then if there's like any setback in the process, you've kind of just wasted $4 million. So this is a very easy way to just clear $4 million off your projected books. Like Lou Trevino, he had a spot on the team if he was healthy. It's just easy.
He kind of. I had the same thought of the names that were there. I was just like, I don't know. There's a lot of relievers.
If this was a normal Yankees team or Yankees franchise, you'd be like, yeah, sure. I don't know. Lou Trevino could be good. Like, they love his sinker slider. The inherited runner stuff was good. But for the current state of the franchise, like, I need as much flexibility as possible. And that $4.1 million.
Yeah.
I think
there's actually not that many relievers, but you can find relievers.
The Yankees have
Ian Hamilton.
Yeah, I know.
The Yankees don't need right-handed relievers.
Holmes, Loizaga, Canely, Hamilton, Efros will be back, and then it gets thin.
So that's
Heel.
If nothing else, it would open up another up and down spot.
Heel gets you out.
I have him as probably gone, and I have Higgy as like a coin flip. Like I wouldn't be surprised at all if they were like, hey,
Yes.
Either way, I would not be surprised.
What do you think about Bowers? 1.7 mil, but they like him and they need any sort of lefties.
They didn't waive him a few weeks ago when they waived Terman, McKinney, the Corderos. I think they're vaguely interested in him.
I think they are too.
I feel like they're going to tender him if they need to DFA
Does
him.
he
They
have?
need that.
You got no options.
I think so.
I don't think so. Due for 1.7.
No
So,
options.
the Yankees, it's not a
1.7.
crazy number, but
I mean, not if you plan. It's not a crazy number, and we shouldn't be worrying that much. But if you plan on getting outfielders, and then Bauers, if your plan is to not have Bauers on the 26-man roster, then you wouldn't give him the 1.6 mil.
I think the only thing that there could be an argument is if he's like the last man on the roster and he's in theory Rizzo insurance, he's in theory corner outfield limited insurance.
He did play first base, huh? Yeah, he's natural first base.
Classically trained.
He'd like to.
So yeah, then maybe they do that. And also the Yankees kind of like to be nice.
They don't like non-tender a ton of dudes who it's
Yeah.
like a surprise ever.
Mm-hmm.
Reading the tea leaves on how they used Bauers last year and just the sense you get around the Yankees. I think they are just like
Bauers.
they're just very
top
intrigued by him. And I think they'd like to find a way to get him to spring training, and if they have to make a tough decision, then they'll do
What
it.
is his arbitration number?
1.7 is the current projection.
Okay.
I also think if they're
If they give him a
you
$2
can
mil
non-tender
raise,
him
if
and-
they give him the IKF raise, be wary. If they're like, hey, we came to an agreement with Bauers, we're giving him $3 mil.
Yeah, IKF, they handled that so quickly.
If
But
I
that's what was
really
crazy.
said that at this date last year about IKF,
We would have
you
said,
guys
well,
would have
find
the
out in
same
February.
faces on, and then they did it.
No, they were
IKF,
obsessed
they
with
did
IKF.
it so early.
They're
They
obsessed
threw
with
him at
Bauers.
shortstop. They're not obsessed
Normally-
with Bauers.
Normally, those decisions
IKF,
happen in
they
January.
went out and traded for, and they made their starting shortstop.
Yeah, they believe in
and they dug
Bauers.
their heels in.
But they
at
believe
least at
they're
the end of
so
this, at the
intrigued
end
by
of this season,
Bauers.
they like came off of
Yeah,
Bauers.
a little bit.
You know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
IKF.
I think
and
they're
Bauers are in different boats.
super intrigued by him. But they could also, like, who's guaranteeing him an MLB job? Like, they can sign to a minor league deal.
They could non-tender
in
him.
2 days.
They could non-tender him and sign him to a minor league deal tomorrow.
Immediately.
Now, I'm not rooting for Bauer not to get the money.
I want him to get
I just want the Yankees to make decisions that show me they plan on having not Bauers in the starting outfield. Sorry, Jake.
which is tough because technically he's one of the few like lefties with pop they had, which is just
I mean, Willie.
So dumb.
Willie can bang.
that's true. That was disrespectful of me.
Where's he playing? Don't.
KBO.
That's kind of the news. We did it. We had a great show. Everyone is excited, and people have subscribed like crazy. We're very close to that milestone.
Ooh, big one. Nestor.
Goodbye. Farewell. Go Yanks. Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.